welcome to the wine mixer today. I was going to say that welcome to Musical Thursday. Hello. I have already had some of this. If you cannot tell, it is officially May. So I hope that yesterday you spent some time and wrapped yourself around a maypole or two, and they're enjoying beautiful weather and beautiful friends. It is the time of the year when we are about to launch into some amazing events. We can finally do these things again. I know some of the ladies are out in Oklahoma having a wonderful time at the Renaissance Festival, Castle of Muskogee. I cannot say it. And also we are preparing to get ready for the New Jersey Renaissance Festival. I will be at that. I'm so excited. I should put this thing up. Wait a minute. I have the fancy thing that scrolls. But yes, today we have two very special guests with us. I am so excited to introduce them to you. We have, of course, Lady Morgan back for more Murder Corner, morbid moments, whatever we are calling it. And we also have Lady Margaret with us. I'm so excited. I have not spent much time with her before, and now I'm going to share her with all of you. And of course, my cousin Pop has given me a bottle of sacramental wine that Inoki used this morning. It is a Pinot Noir. And the song is playing in my head. You're absolutely right. So welcome to the show. We're going to learn lots of things. But first, let me bring in the beautiful ladies. Of course, Lady Morgan and Lady Margaret. Hello, ladies.
Good day, Catalina.
So,
hello.
Ladies, oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, fantastic. Red wine, 6% Brave Lady. And I have gravy on the stove. I have tomatoes on the stove. I am just taking all the risks.
Yeah,
goodness me. Very brave.
We are seeing Buongiorno, of course. And now I have asked, does someone have a toast, or do you both have toasts for us to start out our day?
Oh, Lord.
I perhaps could, but
go for it.
All right. I toast to what the kids are calling the hot girl summer, because it is about to get very hot.
Yes, and we are also very hot. So it's already a hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer. All right.
Oh, I love that. And you know, it is true. We are all 16th century hot girls. This is exactly what they talk about.
Absolutely. We all sit in our salons and discuss poetry and then talk about, but really, have you seen Christopher Marlowe lately? All of that.
Anyway, sorry. Lady Morgan, do you have a toast?
Oh goodness. May your heroes never disappoint you, or at least become interesting supervillains.
Oh,
I like that one.
When you mean let your heroes not disappoint you, you mean disappoint you or disappoint you?
I have been very fortunate that a lot of the people that I've sort of held in high regard over time have not disappointed me. Specifically, Sir Marcus, the Black Dragon of Spencer, who you know as well, Catalina. Yes,
you know where I was going with that question. Then, all right.
I used to be really, really into him when I was a child. Like, just loved to follow him as a jouster, fantastic performer. And then later met him. This is a true story. Later met him about 10 years ago, backstage at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. And apparently, as I walked away, I fangirled about him, got him to sign a photo of the two of us together when I was 7. And then as I walked away, apparently Sir Richard turns to him and says, "Why do you get all the hot ones?"
That is the most Sir Richard thing I have ever heard.
So yes, but no, he's been a good friend since then, and he's never disappointed me.
I love that, and he is the Lord of Muffins.
Yes, you have these muffins, and you take them.
Muffins. Yes. Listen, Lady Margaret, we're going to explain later.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. So I have some questions, and I actually have my own question for you if we can get to it, if we have time.
Very excited.
I have great questions coming in. I'm going to start with the serious-ish one because I can see this devolving quickly. So this one comes from Marco. What bit of modern knowledge do you wish Elizabethan ladies knew back in the Renaissance? Lady Margaret, you look very confused.
No, I'm really thinking about this, because there's a lot of different things.
Good question, right? Like I'm trying to think. I mean,
good question. Yes. Oh my goodness.
I feel like there's a lot of things that the Elizabethans knew that a lot of people don't realize.
Yes.
Like we had more hygiene than you think. We had some knowledge of sanitation. We had some knowledge of, like, I'm trying to think in plague times. Like, we actually knew a decent amount. I was just explaining recently to someone, we were talking of Romeo and Juliet, and one of the main problems was that there was a plague going on outside of Verona. So they were like, quarantine, like it's nothing new. Try to think.
I would say that tennis is overrated.
Ooh.
That there are better sports coming. I would say that. So I tennis and golf and things like that. I just watched the Hollow Crown version of Henry V, and they bring out that cask of tennis balls, and they're insulting the English king by bringing him a bunch of tennis balls, which then proceeds to be just a giant amount of phallic humor for the next 3 seconds in the scene. But yeah, they're just wait until the Aztecs bring you basketball. It's so much better than you can possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm.
More interesting to watch. The people that are doing it are so much better. American football, I love. Rugby, so much better. Like there are better sports coming. So that's there. I'll go with that.
Excellent.
I have a suggestion here that we should know that soccer.
Yes. I actually would probably go in some sort of thing that Elizabethan ladies, you will get right at some point. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Time, but yeah.
Eventually.
No, yes. I like that. What do I wish? I wish I knew about some of the food that's gonna come around. Like a flavor blasted goldfish would blow an Elizabeth.
Yes,
absolutely. Oh my goodness.
I think there was a meme for a while that there were people going around saying, what would people, if they were transported from the Renaissance to modern times, what would they think? And they'd be floored by your spice cabinet. Because there's salt and pepper and sugar and all different kinds of spices, and you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for them, and that anyone can wear any color they want to, and it's just really fascinating, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I would say
from Italy, I feel like you have much more access to spices, or well, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, in the south we do. We are much closer to the northern African region, and that Silk Road kind of winds around us.
That makes sense.
It's. It's why we have a lot of spicy foods. The further down you go and the further north you are, it tastes like French food. It's very close, very close. So yes, I was. Oh, the other thing. Wait a minute.
Oh,
some of the stories that we have, because the mythos from a millennia ago is we have the same stories told over and over again, but to know where those stories have gone, things like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, just where your stories that you are used to hearing have evolved. I think that would be amazing to know.
Yeah, being able to really involve space into a lot of things, because I know Copernicus and things were thinking about space at the time, but they didn't really know anything about what was going on. Yes, England took over the world for spices. I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I refuse to eat bangers and mash anymore, although mashed potatoes are still good, because it just tastes like someone took a toilet paper roll and stuffed it full of meat and then tried to eat it. And I'm like, no. The Italians are way better at this. We're just going to abandon. No, just abandon that. Nope. Just make friends with Italy again. We can ignore France. We have bad issues with France, but
I'm all for ignoring France.
This is the interesting to me that we keep slowly getting invaded by more and more French ladies, because there's Marguerite and Julie.
That is the plan all along. We will take over. It will be very fun.
There's more English people than anyone else, but there's slowly more and more French ladies, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, speak of Star Wars related things.
Fun.
Yes, and the French. Oh, I usually don't take questions from the comment section, but I love this question. I just saw this. I will chase treasure, celebrate the Star Wars Day on May the 4th be with you. I know how I'm going to celebrate. I don't know about you.
Go ahead.
Personally, I will be recording a couple of things on Little Fairy Box for a couple of other projects. But I personally like to do my best Chewbacca impression at all points in time during the day. Which well, of course, it's. I have better ones sometimes, but that is what we got right now.
I personally usually wait for Revenge of the 5th or the 6th, depending on which one you want to go with. And I do have an enormous Star Wars necklace that was a gift from our fan, Nicole. So it's got this like huge Darth Vader thing in the middle, and then there's big wings off to the sides of it.
So cool.
It's enormous. I have to wear it with like normal looking, like just dark clothes that don't have any logos or anything on them, because it takes up most of my collarbone. And I'll probably wear that.
Do it.
I mean, you get it. I might have to get in the break now. All right, here we go.
The newest one. This is the May.
Yes. I'm so happy about that. That makes me very happy.
Yes, and I think I'm going to walk around a public area, like a park, socially distant, and I'm going to walk up to people and say, "Hello there," and see how many people respond. General Kenobi. Just see, and no one will, but in my brain, that is where I think I would do.
If I was around you, I absolutely will. But unfortunately,
I always wanted to have. I had to have it choreographed in the beginning, but I always wanted to do like just a random, laser sword fight in the middle of a public park when people aren't expecting it, just like just come out of nowhere.
We have to make the noises ourselves.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It is a dream of mine to learn the fight choreography from the big fight at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and just do it with the beautiful dialogue. I would really like to do that.
We get all the Chase Treasure Sopranos together to go.
Yeah. If we could come up with that at some point, I've always hoped that at some point we could do like large scale choral things. And so far we've done like Keep Christmas With You, and we've done what was another Christmas song?
Go for Tuna.
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Yes, and then we've done Oh for Tuna, the Go for Tuna version.
Yes.
I never meant to put together a women's chorus, but it'd be fun to do.
Then we start with Star Wars. I love this. And then someone has to dual wield.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not that good. That'd be Beatrice. Beatrice is such an
It would be
I met with her the other day, and she was because we were talking online doing something else, and then she was so excited. She's like, "We're going to do body burns next week," and I was like, "God, you're extra! Wow, all right, do your thing, girl."
I have also heard this, and it delights me.
In Thor Ragnarok, when what's the girl playing Hela? Academy Award winning Helen. No, not Helen Mirren.
She's so beautiful. My goodness. Anyway,
Blanchett. Yeah. Apparently, she unintentionally during some of the choreography, and you can see this in some of the outtakes, she would go like, "Boom." Bat. And I was like, no. You can't actually say that while we're filming, though, because we need to add the actual things later on.
I love her. Oh my goodness.
Amazing. I love how this devolved so quickly into Star Wars. It took like 2 minutes.
I mean, what do you expect?
I'll go get my necklace in the break. I'll see if I can.
Yes, I want to see it so bad.
I know I do too.
It is like someone holding hands over your chest, just being like, "Ha, this is enormous."
I like this.
All right, I have a very good question. This comes from @Mel's. What is your favorite out of context Shakespeare quotes?
At one point, back in grammar school sort of thing, we were filming a modern version of Macca's, and I could not resist filming an intentional outtake of my worthy right hand. Never stops being funny, truly.
No.
Also, if you did it sexy, they're like, if I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Yes.
All right.
Really
absolutely.
She did mean it that way.
I feel like she did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those are mine. Now I'm curious what you two think.
Definitely my naked weapon is out.
Oh, yes. Excellent.
Definitely.
Oral, I will back thee.
Oh.
I mean, there's also, it's not out of context, but like, you know, where does a wasp keep its sting in its tail and its tongue? What with my tongue in your tail?
Yeah,
It
there's
is,
a lot
that's
of
good.
like not so subtle homoeroticism going on through that entire thing.
It is
Three
beautiful.
jointed stool. If I be a stool, come sit on me. Like, there's not. It's not that.
It's not subtle, no.
No, it's very obvious.
Exactly. Unfortunately, my brain is very much made up of non sequiturs, and the only thing that comes up into my brain is the exeunt pursued by bear from Winter's Tale. You know, I like to imagine it's a very, very big burly man, you know, just running past a nice bear.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fun.
So we all like to be exited, pursued by bears sometimes.
This is true. Absolutely.
Now I'm racking my brain for more because there are lots and
There
lots.
are so many.
And I don't know that many plays backwards and forwards to be able to say that. But I mean, again, I just referenced like the tennis ball scene. I'm like, well, that's just a big old dick joke through the entire thing. It's also like, and it's insulting that this French would send him just like a box of tennis balls. Like, well, here, enjoy your leisure time. Like, really, dude, really? But
Isn't it, which play is it where the person is saying, what hast thou done to my mother? Villain, I have done thy mother.
Oh goodness, what play is that?
It's not Othello, it's
Lord. Is that like
is-
Titus Andronicus or something?
it is, yes, it is. I think this site is Andronicus.
Yes, I think you're right. It's I'm having a brain
I've
fart.
only ever done like or directed the bloody version, which is just, you know, cribbed from all of the rest of the actual dialogue. But yeah, I think that is villain, I have done your mother.
It is definitely Titus Andronicus.
Yeah, you know what? It is because that in context actually is a thing that happens.
Yes.
You think it's going to be bad just from the innuendo standpoint, and then you're like, oh no, it's worse. There's cannibalism going on now.
Finished eating a dried apricot, and I'm really glad I did, because every time now you say that and I'm like, I'm really glad there's no more in my dish. For those of you who don't know, there's great special effects used for blood shows, especially the ones that perform at places like New Jersey Renaissance Festival, Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival, and sometimes when blood has to be in your mouth, you have to use edible things. So in the moment in the show when Lavinia gets her tongue cut out, they thought, how can we make this more gross? So was it corn syrup, grenadine, chocolate syrup?
Yeah, it was butter. I remember them making it in the beginning of the day every day.
And instead of chunks of tongue, it was cut up pieces of dried apricots, which look like tongues when they're covered in chocolate.
Yes.
Texturally, that seems very
right. And usually I forget about that, and I did for a while, and now I've been.
It came back.
It's back in your brain now.
All the Shakespeare things, they eventually come back around, and you're like, oh god.
You're like, oh yes, that is a thing that happened. Okay.
I don't know what this means, but yeah, it's a spicy time.
Oh, cute.
Oh my goodness. Yes. All right. Those were like the normal questions.
Oh, there's not normal questions? I like this.
I have a not normal question for Lady Margaret, because she has never answered this one. So,
all right, give it to me.
What was your best date ever? Why did it involve Chinese food? I have a survey.
All right. Let me see. The best date ever was probably. Goodness me. It was it happened at some point last year. I think it was like June 17th. But meaning it was just a date of me eating.
Your birthday.
Yes. Is it like your favorite thing?
It was a very good day. It was like June 17th, not too hot, not too cold. It's beautiful weather, and it did involve Chinese takeout. I got a lot of dumplings. They were very delicious. It was me and my cat hanging out, and that tells you a little bit about me as a person.
You have a lovely cat, though. You have an enormous cat.
Every episode of the Winemakers should feature your puppies and your cats. Do you have your cat?
I do. Would you like me to go get him?
Do you want me to launch into a commercial break?
Yes, do it, and I will go and grab my my
All
Kit
right,
Kat.
all right.
All right, I'm going to talk slowly. Here we go. You ready? All right, here we go. I'm going to talk very slowly throughout commercial break so the ladies can go get their cats and possibly some dumplings. So, hello everyone. Thank you for jumping in. This is our commercial break. So just stay tuned. It's only going to be a minute. I have some very important things I want to share with you, and you are going to want to know what they are. First of all, this one's fun. Hang on. Let me get the thingies. Aha, look at that. Yes. So, Chased Treasures After Hours concert at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair is Saturday, June 5th. Tickets are limited and they are going fast. Purchase yours at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair box office online. That is at New Jersey Ren Fair, njrenfair.com, or just type New Jersey Renaissance Fair into your Google. It will find it for you, I promise. All right, some other things that you should know. Hey, look at this beautiful book cover. This is Dare, a collection of short fiction and poetry. It is available on Amazon. I have read a few of the stories so far in my copy. I absolutely adore it. It is very spine-tingling. So if that's right up your alley, this is the perfect book for yourself or for a gift for a very spooky person. Maybe your mommy likes spooky. I don't know. I don't know your life. Oh, this picture is way too big. All right. Also, if you like things like that, the author of that lovely, lovely book also has a Patreon. It is Quill and Quote. This is a wonderful Patreon. You get all sorts of great things. There are some short stories, some poetry, and it is all, some of it, not all of it, is narrated by a professional voice actor who is going to be narrating with a beautiful, sultry, chocolatey voice. So if any of that appeals to you, just check it out at patreon.com/Quill and Quote. And let me click the other things. Here we go. And actually, I'm going to let Lady Morgan back in because I'm going to let her tell you all about this next one.
I'm here. I'm just behind the giant D21.
There you go. All right. Very quickly, say the thing. I'm going to try and pull it to the side.
Oh, it's fine. So Nat21 Adventures has a lot of wonderful things that go on Twitch TV. It is live streaming. They do things on Tuesdays, which are more regular D&D kind of campaigns with all of your favorite Renaissance Fair performers like Paolo Garbanzo and Adamo Ignis. But the special thing that happens on Thursday nights from 10 p.m. Eastern to a little after midnight is we do something called Gothic Horror Gaming. I have been running a Delta Green campaign, which is a modern take on Lovecraftian horror. And then my partner, Tom, has been running something called Chill, which is set in the 1800s. So if you really like your Victorian horror or you like your modern horror, we are there for you. And this coming Thursday, we are finishing up a campaign called Deep Green Sea, a Delta Green adventure that features Alex Stampoli from the PA Renaissance Fair, Adamo Ignis, Penny, the Teal Angel from the Angels, Heroines in Disguise, and our very own Lady Agnes as one of our players.
Yes, fantastic. All right.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you for that, because I would not have been able to get all that out. Even though someone just commented, can I talk slowly? No, the answer is no, I cannot. I tried.
We're all on the East Coast. We just talk fast.
And also, I'm going to throw back in Lady Margaret here because I would like you to talk about these things quickly. And I don't want to say it wrong. Go ahead.
Cool. So I in my other life, I also play a lot of D&D with my most notable new project coming up called the General Adventuring Company, which is a live-action tabletop role-playing podcast and video series. I play a very fun character who is the love of my life, truly. Our GM is incredible, and we will be launching in the middle of sometimes this month. So keep an eye out for us. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and come say hi.
And also, you have this very fancy thing here.
Yes. Once upon a time, about a week ago, I accidentally joined a another campaign that I didn't realize was live streamed, which happens tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard on the RPG Academy. It is a pirate campaign called. Oh goodness, what is it called? The Debtor's Gambit. I play a bard. I play a goblin bard. It's very fun. But if you'd like to check that out, you should, because I'm very entertaining.
You are very. That is not a brag. That is the absolute truth.
We try our best in this house.
And of course, I am going to bring the commercial break too, and I am going to leave, I think, the New Jersey Renaissance Fair banner going because I think it looks nice. Hang on, where is it?
Good.
There we go. All right, and now I'm going to bring all you ladies back in because I want to see your pussycats.
Yes. He's right here.
And your
So
necklace.
this is the necklace.
Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my goodness.
It's got a giant Darth Vader in the center full of
I
spikes.
love it. Oh my
wow, that
goodness.
Your cat is huge.
He is big boy.
He's the size of your head.
I know. He's
His
so
face
good.
is the same size as your face. That's insane.
He is a little mad because I woke him up from a nap, but this is the price of fame, sir.
So I did want to say, Catalina, I couldn't find my cat because there was a fire alarm earlier, so she's hiding.
Oh, she's hiding.
But I do have a present for you. And it is one from our, I think it's a new pet. I could call it a new pet. And it is from our wonderful patron, Curtis Zinn, who I got a chance to spend some time with last night.
Stop it, I'm so excited.
Now, there are many, many other things that come in this bag, which I do need to get to you sometime next week. But this is one of the things that I thought was really, really fun. This is a new pet.
Is that the Mothman?
It is a Mothman. It's a cuddly, snuggly Mothman with glitter eyes.
I love him so much.
He's about the same size as the not the chocobo, whatever it is. The kakapo that's in the background. Yeah, they can be buddies.
They could be friends. I am delighted by this. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
And there's a bunch of other things in the bag. I'll show you after the we're done. But I just wanted to. This is your new pet.
this is your new. Oh, maybe it's a girl Mothman. Maybe it's a
I
Mothman.
don't know. It's a moth woman. It could be.
Maybe this is your new
Yeah, it's
girlfriend.
But Curtis was able to procure these at the official site of where they had seen the Mothman. So that's he got lots of merchandise for you.
I'm going to listen. I'm going to be at
It's
your
so
residence in like an hour. I'm going to hightail it. I'm going to hop on a horse and charge toward your residence.
I'm not going anywhere today. If you really want to come by, I don't care.
All right, we'll talk after.
All right.
It's not even my birthday. This is the best day ever. I love it so much. All right.
Amazing.
I probably
right,
can show him. So.
I do. Lady Margaret squeak. I have to ask this question now. I'm going to type this in. I'm going to be official. Hang on.
Okay.
You're going to hear clicky clacky.
Oh, clicky.
That's all right.
Like a little bit of the horse, little blip, 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 clicky clacky. Is that technically what a hoof sounds like? Is a little clicky clacky, or is there another word for that?
On it or not? Some of them
Okay.
do, some of them don't.
Okay.
All right. This
Wouldn't love
question
horses.
is
Favorite.
cryptid?
God.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
All right. Is this like a what is the game? It's like a wed behead game. What is because all of my friends, they're like, ooh, I would definitely go and date this cryptid. Or is this like a aesthetically pleasing, like, oh, my favorite cryptid is this because I find them fun?
All right, so here's my dilemma right now. You just
Okay.
say that. I was trying to buy us like 3 more minutes before the murder corner, but
Okay.
now I want to play weds. What weds?
It is like
bed,
wed
behead.
something bed, wed bed
Yeah,
behead.
that's the Henry VIII version is wed, bed, behead.
All right, wed, bed, behead, 3 cryptids. And Lady Margaret, we start with you.
Okay. Of course I have considered this before. I personally I believe to wed I would absolutely wed probably Mothman. Because of course he is an icon. He little creepy big boy. And I feel like he would protect me, you know? And you need that kind of sense. In terms of let's see. So that is wed. Bed. I'm going to say probably the Jersey Devil, because little devilish fun there. I don't know. I feel like it would be fun and good. But we'll see. And then behead. I hate to say it, but I feel like Nessie look creepy to me. I do like Nessie as a concept. But I do not like things whenever I go swimming, like coming up and touching my feet
Yes.
and like freaking me out that way. And I feel like that's what happened. And I am sorry for all of you Nessie lovers out there. I just do not share that.
Agnes is not watching. You're fine.
Oh, good.
Lady Morgan, do you have an answer?
Yeah, so I have a pencil offside and I'm like writing things down. Oh my god. This, every once in a while it feels like Scrabble when I come onto your show and I'm like round answers. All right. So I guess there are some among of you who may theorize that I've already wed a ginger yeti, so take that for what it's worth. I don't think he's a yeti, he's a Bigfoot.
Yes.
So large scale hominid type creature. They seem pretty, I mean, and breedability is possible. I guess I would bed. I'm gonna go with a chupacabra.
Oh,
okay. Like I don't know if they can suck on goats. I'm curious what else they can drink.
I respect that.
I have curiosities that I'm intrigued by. Now this is the hard one though, because of the I don't know how you would behead this, and it's not necessarily like a cryptid, but there are people that are like, "Ooh, I've seen them." Does a megalodon count?
Oh.
Like a giant ancient shark? Because I feel like
so.
if Nessie counts, and they're like giant dinosaurs of the ocean, then I feel like megalodon counts.
Absolutely.
So I would not want to. I have on occasion gone diving, and I didn't see any sharks up close, but I've gone diving in places where great white sharks exist, and I was floored by just there is immense amounts of beautiful clear blue ocean, and I am a sitting duck just waiting for something to come eat me, and it comes from all directions. Once you're in like a place in the environment where you're just like something could come up behind me, but not just behind me, underneath me or to the side or whatever it is, that you are constantly aware in the ocean of just how much you don't belong there. And
right.
A megalodon would be like the scariest thing for me.
I would say the mermaids are actually very terrifying to think about because of that same reason. Like
as a concept, yes.
Actually, I will say very briefly, in the book Dare, there is a story called Not Like This, and it is about a very unconventional mermaid, and it is one of my favorite stories I've ever written. And yeah, that one's a mess, and I really love it. Thank you.
There, that way. There.
this thing right there.
It's really good.
All right, I've had enough time to think of this, and I keep changing my mind, except for one thing, obviously. No question. Marry the Mothman, he would treat me right.
Very true.
Good, yes.
Shows up in West Virginia every like 6 years and just
fine. That's
absolutely.
Fine. You see me up on that statue? Go like this.
That was Curtis telling me about last night. He's like, do you understand that there's social media just about the butt of this statue?
Yes.
Are you serious?
It's beautiful. Whoever sculpted this appreciates.
This is true.
Makes a lot more sense than some of the things I've seen online.
I would say not the specific one that you are married to, but my answer for bed would be either a Yeti or a Bigfoot. Because could you imagine? It's like a black version of a cryptid.
Yes, yeah. Similar anatomy is not a bad thing.
Yes, and they'd be so fuzzy. You could like cling to them like a spider monkey.
Put the gnat out of their fur or something. Like.
I could store nuts in it for the winter.
Yes.
Oh my.
Margaret's having a hard time breathing right now. So.
This is true.
I don't know who I'd want to behead. I mean, my vote would probably be for the Jersey Devil because it looks just gross. Like, I don't know.
Terrifying.
It's like somebody messed up drawing a horse and they were like, well, screw it, wings on it, it'll be fine.
Exactly. It'll be fine. And like anything or anyone that lives in the Pinelands in New Jersey, probably I don't want any parts of. So
point taken, yeah.
This is very fair. You know,
that's true.
Look at that.
Anyway, oh, all right. This is also a very good answer. Would hit the Kraken?
That's
I respect that.
How into tentacle porn you really are. But I will say that they're real, and that's like actually one of the things that we're doing on in the Gothic horror gaming was the group that got together in this modern context was looking for giant squid. And it's so wild to see the videos that are coming out over time of here's a real one, here's another real one. Like they're there, they exist.
It's so big.
Like the head the size of a king size bed is what you're looking at.
It is
Not including
terrifying.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fascinating.
I
And
see that, but these could come out of nowhere, like in the ocean. It's
Absolutely.
just boom, squids.
Like,
Well, and a lot of people don't realize there's actually two different types. So there's the colossal squid, which is a bigger head, but shorter arms. So it's just enormous body shape, and then like tiny little arms. And then there's
I've got a big head and little arms, and I'm not saying this plan was not doing very well.
And then there's the what you would think of as the giant squid, which is a lot more streamlined, and it has the like 40-foot long grabbing tentacles that you think of when you think of giant squid. So yeah, there's a lot of different kinds.
Oh
So
my
many
goodness.
different types of squids.
I know a lot about sea creatures. You'd be shocked.
Excellent.
I can't get over Lady Margaret's faces. And on that note, I feel like we've waited way too long for this. It is beyond time for what today we are calling Morgan's Murder Corner.
And it doesn't necessarily deal with murder directly, but I will say that murder is a part of it. So,
all right, here we go. I did the thing right. There we go.
Yay! Thank you.
Excellent.
All
right.
So today we're going to talk about the Winchester Mystery House, which is very. Mrs. Margaret knows about it. She's very excited.
I do. I have a friend who used to work it there. It is very cool.
Yes, absolutely, and it's a real place that you can visit even now. I think they've reopened since the pandemic. So I'll give you a little bit of the background and the history and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that I'm getting today comes from the actual website, Winchester Mystery House. So if you look it up online, you can find a lot of this information online. It's available on their actual website. So that's where we're getting the definitive story of this. So here's the thing about the Winchester rifle. So in the 1830s, I think the Winchester family starts producing guns. And that's not necessarily a big deal. They've been produced for a long time. But I want you to think about this. So in the 1860s, we have the Civil War. And most of the people that were fighting in the Civil War were still using front-loading weapons of varying types. So you have to pour the powder in and then hammer it down and then put in the charge and hammer it down. Now they could do this very quickly. They could do it like in 30 seconds. So it's good. I
call it the John Rolfe. He's okay? Anyway.
So in the 1860s, predominantly, that's what's being used in warfare in the Civil War. Now, sometime in the 1860s, thank you, Donald Gaither. I'm so glad you're excited about it. Sometime in the 1860s, the Winchester Company in Connecticut, based in Connecticut, does introduce their first lever-action rifle to the Union Army. So toward the end of the Civil War, they're starting to use it, but not widespread enough that a lot of people were using them. So the reason why the Winchester rifle is called the gun that won the West is in the 1870s, this rifle goes into huge popularity. And it's a rifle that everybody knows it. It's iconic. It's a lever action rifle. So you can load multiple projectiles into this rifle and ratchet the gun to shoot the next one, which is revolutionary in terms of rifles and guns and whatnot. I think it is considered a rifle because it does have that barrel, on the inside, it has this like screw looking thing, which helps keep the projectile going straight, as opposed to a lot of other weapons that was very unpredictable, that the projectile would come out and just go wherever the heck it felt like. So that and the revolver pretty much won the West. But this becomes a problem. So in the 1870s, a woman named Sarah Pardee marries the man who is in charge of the Winchester family fortune and the Winchester Rifle Company. And she's the focus of our story today. In 1881, her husband died of tuberculosis. And just prior to that, I think like 2 or 3 years prior, her daughter, the only child that they had unfortunately also passed away from a very strange illness. It's called Marmouth. So I'll have to look it up, but it's a very weird illness, and she was only 5 months old, so she did not last very long, unfortunately. But throughout the course of probably about 5 years, a lot of the rest of the Winchester family slowly succumbs to things like tuberculosis. Now you can look at it historically and say that yes, tuberculosis was, thank you, Tommy, that's rifling. So you can look at it historically and say a lot of people were dying of tuberculosis at the time. But when Sarah Winchester was sort of encountering this, she was very much into the belief in the late 1800s of the time of spiritualism and ghosts and mediums. So she encountered a medium, and this is, according to history, what they told her. The reason that your family is dying is because of the ghosts that have been attached to these rifles. That because your family has created this revolutionary firearm that has killed so many people, they're coming after you. So you have to move out of Connecticut and buy a house somewhere else on the West Coast. And as long as you keep building the house, they will never come to find you. So after her husband dies and her daughter has passed away, she, in 1884, Sarah Winchester, now the heir to the Winchester family fortune, moves to Santa Clara Valley in California. And she buys an 8-room house. Now, it's a pretty big house. It's a Victorian-styled Queen Anne house. So not a small house by any stretch of the imagination. But what she does with it after that point is bizarre. So I want you to keep in mind that as the heir to the Winchester fortune, she was making, I think, the equivalent of $20,000 a day. So every single day with that, she was the richest woman, I think, in the world at that time, just from inheriting the fortune. So at that point, yes, there she is. That is Sarah Winchester.
Got it.
Sarah Pardee Winchester. At this point in the 1880s, she starts building on to the house. And part of the theory behind what she does is she makes a lot of weird decisions. She designed the entire house herself, and she has work crews working 24 hours a day. So there are people continually working. And apparently she paid them very, very well. They were getting twice the amount that they would get in any other construction site. And she was continually making adjustments to the house, with the goal being that these ghosts would never be able to find her. Part of her theory in that was if she made confusing passages in the house, then no one would ever be able to locate her. So every night she would sleep in a different bedroom. They had 80 different bedrooms that she could possibly sleep in. 160 rooms total by the time the construction stopped. Not finished. It was never finished. It just stopped. There are stairwells that go to nowhere. There are stairs that are unconventionally made because she had, I don't know, it was sciatica or something, but she had a lot of trouble walking towards the end of her life. So she made the stairs, like, instead of, a normal stair tread, which are about that big, she made them like really, really small so that she could keep walking. So there's very unusual stairwells. There's at least 2 doors that lead to absolutely nowhere. One of them opens up into a kitchen sink. There's like a 15-foot drop. So you open this door on the 2nd floor and it goes down into a kitchen sink. Or there's another one that you can open, which I think they've locked permanently. You could open out into the courtyard and you would just drop 4 stories to the floor. There are fabulous Tiffany windows that are hidden in attics and basements. She spared no expense, although this one was stupid. She used a lot of California redwood, real California redwood, which was relatively easy to come by in the 1880s. Not so much anymore. But she hated the way it looked, so she painted all of it and put like fake wood grain over top because she wanted it to be more brown than red. So they sell this California redwood throughout the entire house. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous house. But it's all covered up and like painted over with like shellac and weird stuff to make it look like walnut. It's just dumb. One of the things that happened, and she thought that this was because the ghosts were getting angry. In 1906, there was an earthquake that rocks the San Andreas Valley. And it was a huge earthquake at the time. I mean, a number of buildings completely collapsed. So at that point, the Winchester Mansion had been 7 stories tall. And during that earthquake, it knocks down the top 3 stories entirely. So there used to be, there's a black and white photo. Can you show
yes.
black and white photo? Yes. So that tower in the center was where they were slowly adding more and more things. They had like parapets and all kinds of fun stuff. And then after this earthquake in 1906, she thought that the ghosts were mad at her for building up. So she stopped construction of the upward movement and she closed off an entire wing in the front of the house and then concentrated on a whole separate section.
Huh. I'm boggled that it was 7 stories. Like, this is
it's wild. And there are other photos on the website itself of what the cracked foundations and the way everything looked and stuff. And since then, they have repaired a lot of those sections, but kept some of the damage intact. So they've like cocked the walls back together, but there's still a huge fissure through the center of the wall of what had happened during the 1906 earthquake. In 1922, she dies. She wasn't always spending all of her time at the actual Winchester mansion at that point. She had a secondary house that she stayed a lot with. All of her possessions transferred to her favorite niece, who had lived with her for 15 years before she got married. And then at that point, she kept the things that she wanted and then sold off a lot of other things. And eventually, pretty shortly afterwards, the house transfers to... I guess the Brown family or something like that, Bowen something, transfers to another family who decide to officially open it as a tourist attraction. And it has been a tourist attraction since the 1920s, including one of the most famous people who went there was Harry Houdini in 1924.
Ooh.
He was on a sort of kind of the antithesis of the 1880s, where people were seeing mediums and talking about ghosts and phantasmagoria and stuff like that. So he was on this journey to say, I'm a magician and I can tell you how all of these tricks work. So he walked around in the mansion, and I think it's just very disorienting. Supposedly, at least according to the website, he walked away with more questions than answers, and he could not definitively say whether or not the house was haunted, or if it was if she had accomplished her goal by continually building the mansion until her death. But she lived longer than anybody else in the Winchester family. And it is still available and open to the public today if you would like to visit. And that is the modern-looking house right now. It is 4.5 acres of just house. 160 rooms.
It is beautiful, though.
It is gorgeous. It is done in the Victorian Queen Anne style. She really spared no expense because she had the money to do it. So she made all of these beautiful windows. I think there's like not 1,000 windows, but there's almost 1,000 windows just all over the place. And some of them lead absolutely nowhere. There's like a window in the middle of a room that doesn't have any light. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, she thought that if she kept building for the rest of her life, that the ghost would leave her alone. And some would say that she was successful.
All right. I had heard of this before, but I had never heard in detail, like, all of these things. And I mean, if you're going to be sort of haunted by your demons, I feel like this was maybe not a healthy way of going about it, but it could be worse. Like, she made something beautiful for people to admire.
Yeah, and it's not like she was mean about it or anything. And apparently sometime in the, 1980s, even more modern, they've brought mediums into the house who supposedly channeled her energy. And apparently she's very thrilled that people still look at her house today and find joy in it. She feels like that's the better legacy of having the mystery house than to have this weapon that killed hundreds of thousands of people over time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Good for her.
I feel pretty good about it.
That's amazing. I feel bad about the final question of the day now, that was so enlightening and actually sort of lovely.
Right?
It's sort of a lovely story.
Wholesome.
It is. She turned tragedy into something positive, and that's not easy to do. So I appreciate it.
Speaking of tragedy, I have one more question for you, ladies.
Oh boy!
All right.
I should have asked this earlier. I'm learning along with you. Last question of the day. It is no more stupid than the cryptid one, but it's close. If you were a sushi roll, what would you be called? I'm sorry.
This is, and I write stories, and half of the thing is you have to get a good title. Like, there are things where I just base my stories off of a good title. So now you come with a good one.
Goodness. Mine would be spicy something. I mean, that's no question. There would be, yes, but
it's like spicy Italian hoagie or something.
it sushi roll?
It could be.
This is I have seen Stranger, truly, but whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh goodness. All right. No. I will say mine would be the spicy Italian, and it would just be an Italian hoagie. Hoagie, not a sub, not a sandwich. A hoagie wrapped in nori, sliced thin.
Oh.
Covered in like a spicy, like a sriracha or something.
Ooh, like a sriracha mayo or something. Oh yes.
Yes. I would probably have to go with something like darkness consumes me or something.
Ooh.
But it would probably be like, so it would be like a darker seaweed. What was it? I mean, it'd probably have like vegetables and stuff in it, but it would have like real red, not the sriracha mayo, but just like sriracha on the top. So it'd be this black roll with like red coloring on the top of it.
Like that,
like spicy, but like, not the same kind of like enjoyable spicy, more just like a woo, oh god,
like
that's
I am okay. Oh goodness. Hey, hoagie and not a calzone, incredible.
Local calzone zone. Anyway.
I truly have no idea. Is it? I feel like in the sushi roll there will absolutely be sriracha mayo. This is no question. It will be like the rice is going to be on the outside. Because I feel like you have that. I just feel like it would be like something stupid like the experience. I just. Because I feel like I walk into a room and I am I am a person, but I come in and I bring a lot of very strange things. Maybe because the strange experience, and it's just like all of these weird things in a sushi roll.
It has to have cheese. Like I've never seen a sushi roll that has cheese. There would be some kind of. And it could be anything. I mean, it could be like goat cheese or brie, or it could be like a really hard cheese.
I feel like definitely a brie would be good. Maybe it would be like, have you ever had one of those like baked brie things where they have it'd be like that except in a sushi roll? And
you could do it like they do the what should we call it? Where you fry the shrimp and then put it in there.
Yeah.
Fried shrimp that you put into nori or whatever.
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh my
I love that.
Oh, that's good.
I have a legitimate question for you, Lady Margaret.
Yes.
And I'm about to be very happy with my answer unless I'm about to be disappointed.
Okay.
Lady Margaret, are you shorter than me?
I probably because I am so whenever I was in school and I doing all of my fun and funky training things, they used to use me as a bit of a ruler because I stand at exactly 5 foot nothing, and like exactly, it is a little bizarre how exact it is. I'm a very small person.
We are gonna have to do. I need to meet with you in person.
Okay.
No hairs. I will take my hair done. Okay. Back to back.
Okay.
And see which one of you is taller. That's exciting. See, but you've been in the same place before, but never on a flat plane.
We never. Right. One of us was always up on a stage, and the other was on the ground.
Yeah, so I mean, we will do it. I will always say that I wear very thick-soled boots most of the time,
right?
Because I have to compensate somehow, and I do it through both my shining personality and my shoes. So.
This might be my favorite day ever because I may have gotten a handful of Mothman memorabilia and found someone who is shorter than me. This is. I'm gonna buy a cake. Today is my birthday. This is the best day ever.
Yes.
Happy day. I am taller than someone, and Mothman loves me.
Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. Yes, the two of us doing a show with Lady Catherine.
Oh Lord! It is the fun and the bane of my existence to putting random people together, especially during the pandemic when we could actually do it remotely, so you don't have to travel from California to get out here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just been. I always think of everybody as kind of like ice cream flavors. So you're getting like a banana split, but without the banana part. I don't know. What is that? A sundae. You're getting a sundae. Ice cream's all types, but everybody's a different flavor. And some of the flavors you're like, why did I do this? And then other flavors you're like, I did not know that bubble gum would go really well with chocolate. This is fabulous. Who knew? But, yeah.
I'd
My
love
whole
to know
philosophy of putting together groups of people.
what flavors are in Oklahoma right now versus what flavors are going to New Jersey, because I feel like
God, a lot of you have already kind of discerned this yourselves.
we
I
can go.
feel like Elsa's,
We can
I don't
probably
think she's like beer flavored, but maybe she's made with some kind of like beer type thing.
like a rum raisin, but with like
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Like Elsa
Ooh.
would be like a rum raisin. Gwendolyn's a little bizarre. She's kind of blue. Oh no!
Hold on. I am still here.
That's all right. I'll put it back in.
What's a second? Gwendolyn is sort of unpredictable. So I feel like she would be one of those flavors you would think was like pistachio, and then it turned out to be mint instead. And you're like, oh, look at that. I wasn't expecting that. That's fun.
The experience.
Technology, these little fairy boxes, they betray me sometimes. It is because I am cursed. Listen, all these things happen.
So I'm sorry.
feel
Please
like-
continue.
This is good. I feel like
not again.
No, don't do it again. I feel like Julie's a bit more of a serious flavor, but I don't know what a serious flavor of ice cream is. It's something very intentional, like maybe not weird, but like a I'm going to taste like this exactly.
Yes. I almost want to say like one of those like Japanese flavors that goes in the little fishies, like a red bean paste, like something very
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, like a red bean paste.
or like a matcha.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, yes.
Now I want ice cream.
I absolutely same. Oh my goodness, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, I have Neapolitan in my fridge.
Ooh.
I used to be such a snob about strawberry, and now I'm like, no, it's good. It's good. Root beer and banana is a terrible combo. Oh, I've had some really bad combos. I will tell you what is my absolute favorite thing to add to ice cream, and I feel like everybody should. My dad, when I was a child, would make, we would call them Fridays because he made them on Friday, but he would also throw in random things. So it'd be a Sunday that had like 4 scoops of ice cream, but sometimes we would find like plastic dinosaurs in it or like Barbie paraphernalia. But my favorite thing that he would do is he would add peanut butter. So just a scoop of peanut butter in the bottom of everything. And it is with vanilla ice cream, with chocolate ice cream, with strawberry ice cream, with anything. Peanut butter, as long as you're not allergic to it, peanut butter is a fabulous additive to any kind of ice cream ever.
I like that. Lady Margaret, what would your ice cream flavor be? I don't think you've ever asked this one.
No, I have not. I feel like I would be some sort of a like birthday cake kind of flavor.
Yes.
I definitely have to have like the sprinkles in it, and like perhaps couple of like pieces of little like cake things.
Yes, little chunks.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my goodness. I want to make a sundae one day of just all the Chase Treasure flavors and see how bad it is.
I mean, you're the one that does like the Catalina cookbook thing. You should just make like a whole, like, all right, here's every definitive flavor. You tell me what your favorite combination is. You can only add 3, but let's see what happens.
Oh my god, yes. Birthday cake with rainbow sprinkles. That is no question.
It's the ones you don't add the sprinkles into it. It's already mixed in.
Oh, absolutely.
White, like,
oh my goodness.
flavored one with like the extra stuff already in it. Yeah. You cannot extricate the sprinkles. They're there.
Oh my goodness, ladies, I hate to do this. We are at that time of the day. This was it was an experience. I'm so glad that you were here today. Anything else you want to throw in? We got like 1 minute left. If there's anything you want to say before I do my little final thing and tell people about things and stuff.
She's going to Missouri. That's one thing I wanted to mention.
Oh yes, I am. It is true.
Yay!
This is a Maiden Fair Renaissance Festival. Come and see me in person, and perhaps I will not scare you.
That worked, I think. I think
like
that worked. Anything else, Lady Morgan? Anything about the New Jersey Renaissance Festival?
Come to the New Jersey Renaissance Fair and buy your tickets in advance because we have a limited amount of tickets available. And I am in one of my other guises. I'm the general manager. So if you have any questions, you may feel free to contact us and I will be the one answering the questions. So feel free.
Yes. And I want to thank you all so much. Does anyone else have one more toast before we go? I have a little wine left. Anybody? Anything?
Yes.
You
Yes.
haven't
Mothman.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Tumoth.
no, that's mine. To Mothman. Salud. May he forever be moth.
The mothiest man that ever did
Mhm.
man.
It's like that very
Or moth.
man.
With a cuppable butt. Like that. Anyway, thank you so much for being with me today on this wonderful show. I'm going to pour another glass. This is delicious, by the way. And I would like to make a special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for making this happen today, but also thank you to my extra spicy sponsors. Oh, I'm missing one now. I have to add one. I'm so sorry. Wookie Gunner, Robert L, Kyle F, Phil I, Brian G, Anton S, and a special thanks to my top sponsors, Marco, Dan K, and Jim T. And I will adjust this for next time. Thank you so much. And if you would also like to keep this show going, the best way to do that is to visit patreon.com/Christina Koya. And that is the reason we are on every single week. And we've got some incredible upcoming episodes. Next week's going to get weird too. I love when I bring in people who are not Chase Treasure performers because
I have to know who this is. No, you have to tell me now. I have to know.
All right, I will share a little hang on. Ready? It's a clue. Ready?
That's like 4 different people. I don't know who that is.
That's my only clue for you. All right. So if you'd like to see who that is, tune in next week at the same time. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to finish my sacramental wine, and you all have a wonderful, safe, happy weekend. Rest of your week until we see you again.